Do you have that insanely annoying problem in Minecraft where all of your stuff kind of looks like this in a pile of chests and you just don't know how to find anything anymore? Don't know how to organize it? Don't know what you're doing? Well, would you like to go from this over to, whoops, this, right? Nice, quick, sweet, organized. Would you like to understand how it works? Well, in that case, let's uh let's do a little example demonstration. And then, oh, let's see, I've got this set up as just redstone bits at the moment. So let's grab some, throw down some examples. All right, boop. And it doesn't matter color of your chest, any of that stuff. So we'll just load this up with some random things here. Boom, boom, boom. Let's throw some sticky pistons in, something like that. And bam, something, I don't know, there. I don't think I have observers in the system. Whatever. Doesn't really matter. All right. So we only loaded up a couple of these. And this particular system, it doesn't matter if they're loaded or not, except I just magically broke them because they were empty, and that's how creative works. All right, let's just grab ourselves a handful of random whatever. There we go. And let's boom, 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 boom. All right. So this system, what it does is you load shulkers in here, and it puts them into this dispenser, which places them here on top of a hopper, which pulls stuff out. It activates, a whole bunch of clocks and stuff like that, and then it throws the items into ye old sorting system here. And whatever sorting system you use, perfectly fine. There's no right or wrong answers. I just have the simple OG one set up right here. Okay, but how does this thing, all these fandangled contraptions, work together? Well, you can see I have multiple colors of wool, and each of these is its own circuit of sorts. So I've got my dispenser clock. I have a speed regulator, which keeps my dispenser from firing all of the time, um, and makes it so that one shulker box has to completely empty, put everything into the system before it breaks the box, or before it dispenses the new box. I've got a box breaker and all that. So how did we go from an empty field over there to something like this? Well, let's go find out. First, let's go make a little place to build our fandangled contraption over here. All right. Boop, boop, boop. Well, actually, let's go a little further away. There we go. Bam. All right. So there's a handful of things you need to know about shulker boxes for this to work. Okay. And the first one is that a dispenser, when loaded up with a shulker, and we'll just use purple here, can in fact dispense it. So let's put that there. Let's get our redstone lever. All right. And bam. Right? We produce power. We create a shulker box. Okay. So that means we can take a hopper and a chest to feed this system, right? So we can put a hopper up here, we can put a chest up here, and this is where we can load our shulkers into. Okay, so now we need something that's going to tell us when the dispenser has stuff in it. So in order to do that, we need ye old comparator. Okay, and the comparator, once it has something in there, will generate a signal. And you can see that's exactly what I did over here. Right off of there into something else. All right, and actually, for the sake of doing things nice, let's do some wool. This one, let's do green wool for this circuit. So boom, boom, oop, boom, and our comparator. Now, once we have a signal, we need to be able to tell our dispenser here to fire, right? So we can actually do that with some redstone dust, sticky piston, and some observers. So if I put redstone dust here, once this has a signal, it'll power this dust, which powers this block. And once that block's powered, it can power this piston next to it, right? And we know from previous things that we can power things this way. All right, so let's see. Bam, bam. So it'll lift this observer up, look into this one, which will then create some redstone signalage. And actually, let's go ahead and continue with the green theme here for a moment. So if we do that, we bam. Now we have a loading system. So this right here is what generates our shulker boxes once we put them in. So we can come in, we can grab some shulkers again. Bam. And I'm actually going to be swapping back and forth between a lot of parts. Let's kind of create a template for some of this. We're going to need that. I need lots of those, lots of that, a bunch of these, some of this. I already got hoppers. I only need the one dispenser. Okay, that's a good start. All right. So what we can do now is we can come in and we can throw dispensers in. See, once it sees that there's something in there, it starts firing this clock off. And it can only fire off when there's something there, right? So now that the three are gone, it turns this clock off, which is fantastic. So now we have a place which will automatically place down our shulker boxes, right? And they will land on top of this yellow block here, which we're going to feed into a hopper. This hopper is going to unload what's up here. And we're going to put that into a dropper. Now, this is actually a very important point. The dropper should be used here. If you put a dispenser here, when it breaks our shulker box, it'll come down here and then it'll just dispense it. And that would ultimately kill our water stream here, okay? So this has to be a dropper. This has to be a dispenser, which is where we're at. If you don't get them in the right place, it's going to create a problem. Now, we have another thing that we need to figure out how to do now, right? Once our shulker box is empty, we need to figure out a way to clear it, right? So we can use a comparator once again to come in here and look at our system to tell us what's in it. Now, a great thing about, let's see, boop. Let's get our sticky piston again. Shulker boxes is that if we power and push them with a piston, it'll break. And you can see that's now in our dropper system, right? So how do we get this to fire off once we have things the way that we want them? There's a lot of ways to do this, but what I came up with was actually, I don't know. I feel like it was clever, but who knows? There's probably a more clever way. But I actually used, oops, need to do this down here, an observer. So when there is a shulker box here that has something in it, it will generate a signal which pushes this observer out, and it keeps it out of line of this. But once it empties out, the power from this comparator stops powering this piston, which will then pull this back. So let's go ahead and let's just do 16 items here. So it's got something in it. It's given a signal, powering this piston, pushing this observer out of the way. Now, once it empties out, it loses signal. This observer sees that it moved. So it sends out a pulse into the repeater, into our piston, and it breaks our shulker box. Okay? So now we have a way to get our stuff down into this guy here. Now, in order to get this one down here to fire and send our items where we want, let's see. Let's pick a new color. Let's go with blue. Okay. Oops. We need him to be able to do the thing. So we can use observers again. All right. So let's point this one. You'll see, boop, fire something off because you just saw an update, right? So I want something that can see when this guy has an item in it and turn another clock on. So we can come over here with the comparator, and then we can put down a piece of whatever it is we're building with. It doesn't have to be wool. I'm just using that for this example. And on top of that, I can now put my redstone dust sticky piston down here. Now this sticky piston is going to go into an observer, which will ultimately come down here. So now this guy, when he has something in him, will send out a signal, which powers this piston, turns on our observer clock, and starts firing off our items. Okay, so that's actually basically this entire system, if you don't count our sorting system, done and dusted. And this is, like I said, the standard sorting system. You can fire this into whatever you like, right? Now, there was one thing that I kind of realized, so I added another circuit to it. Let's see, let's go with orange. And that additional circuit that I added actually goes right here. All right, boom, let's see you. And now I need a repeater. Okay, we'll go here. That repeater goes into oh, let's see, I need bam, I need a sticky piston right here. Uh-huh. And then I need you to be, oh, I need to relook at what I did. Okay, yeah. So off of the repeater, we put on a block, which will be powered. We need a redstone torch, which goes here onto the top of that. Bam. So this will hold this out. Now, the reason that this is here is this is actually a secondary clock thing. I found that if I have too many shulker boxes over here that are just loaded, my hopper will fill up too fast, and I might lose shulker boxes. Okay, so what this does is as long as there's an item inside of this hopper, it will send out a signal into this, which signal from the comparator powers the repeater, powers my block, which unpowers my redstone torch, consequently unpowering this block and this redstone dust. So before this will fire my second shulker box with something in it, now we will have a shutoff, which will keep it from just automatically filling everything up. Boom, boom, boom. All right. So now I have a shulker box here that has 32 comparators in it. So we're going to put several of these in here so we can see this whole system in action. So it put out the first one. Hopper's pulling down into our dropper, which would be hypothetically shooting into our collection system. All right. And right now you can see that this guy's out of line. Okay, there we go. So that was full. So it still continued to not put in our second one, but we'll see here in just a moment. There we go. It broke, and then the hopper ended up emptying out, which triggered the system to fire another signal into here. And on she'll go until she empties out. And you can see that it's dropping my shulker boxes down here. So this, bam, all said and dusted, a custom shulker unloading system. I'm not sure how other people accomplish this. I've actually never looked up a tutorial for it. Well, I can't say that. After I got the other one working, I did go look at another design that used some bamboo stairs and stuff, and I think it was actually a good bit more compact than this, probably. I don't know. Well, maybe not a good bit, but a little bit more compact. But I don't know. I kind of have a thing. I don't like to use other people's designs. I like to figure it out for myself. So anyway, we now have a shulker unloader. And as you can see, with this, it then goes into this collection system. One thing that's worth noting. What? Oh. Something jammed up at some point for some reason over here. Why did it do the thing? You have no signal. Oh, you might not have had enough items in you. There we go. That is one thing I've noticed about this braking system. If you only have like one item inside of a shulker box for some reason, you'll never get a signal here, so this thing will never activate. So that's a problem. Boom. So yeah, that's right. Empty shulker boxes can mess up your system. So I do need to eventually figure out a way to get around that. I'm not sure what that way is yet. But another thing worth noting, the dropper on this, because of the observer clock, actually fires so fast. We can kind of see it. Redstone torches are sorting to here, but you'll see occasionally they fly past. This is dropping items so fast that sometimes things go into this overflow chest that I made over here. The intention is to catch your shulker boxes. For the most part, you can see that this is sorting things out just fine. But every now and then, things get a little faster than they should, and this comes through. This could easily be resolved by putting in a water elevator and just recycling your items back down here in a loop. So that's not a huge deal, but then it'll be hard to collect your shulker boxes. So, you know, there's still some things to work out here, but this is much better, much faster, much preferable to brain stuff, think, to manually sorting all of the junk that we have constantly in our shulker boxes that we carry around with us. Anyway, I hope that was enlightening. I hope that was helpful. I hope that you learned something and that maybe you'll make use of this little system here. If you like it, hey, let me know. If you hate it and you think I'm an idiot, hey, let me know down in the comments as well. But overall, simple, easy to understand, good old-fashioned redstone. But with that, I thank you for stopping by. I hope I see you again. And if there's anything else that you want to see some kind of whacked out invention for that's hopefully of a new design that people haven't used yet, let me know down in the comments. I'd be happy to have a think about it and figure out a way to accomplish whatever it is you're looking for. But until next time, you have a good one. Bye now.